Good evening, it's with Jenna. I'm a 14-year-9-old transgender woman. So, I want to talk a little bit about the US elections. I'm not an American, but I follow the US news a lot. Follow worldwide news like from England, Brexit. Uh, I've watched CNN, Fox News, NBC, I believe this is. Uh, Young Turks, Ring of Fire, some other YouTube prominent people who talk about politics in America. So I have a little bit of insight about politics system and how people think and what the points are over there. So, but now I'm going to give my personal opinion about it. So not so much what is going around over there. And the topic I want to talk about is why the Republicans lost this election. There's a lot of going blame around by the Republicans for what everything has happened over there and why they didn't gain as much as they thought and even lose an extra seat in the Senate. The House they probably get, I think they have it at the moment with 1 or 2 seats extra. So there's still some counts going on in California because it takes a little bit longer. So let's go with some topics of what I think why they lose the elections. First of all, the main point is the topics the Republicans were talking about. Nobody was interested in it. There are just dog whistles, not topics for importance. Yeah, they are important for some people, but not for the mainstream people. They totally misjudged the abortion point. Then they have a lot of transphobic points about me, for example. And we are just like a little minority of 0.5% of the population. We have no powers, we have nothing, so it's just what hate mongering and fear mongering to arouse their base. But most of the people don't see us as a threat. Because they talk about it in hate, people are going to reject their other points. Then the crime. There's always crime by the Republicans. They are talking about crime already for like 40 years. So from the Reagan era, they are talking about crime, and always they didn't resolve the crime. And when they have the presidency, or the Senate, or the House, so and an actually fact is the crime is going down. So that's also a topic people are not very interested in anymore. It's overdone, It's like hitting a dog continuously. At the end, dog is not going to react anymore at the hitting. Then other point is the gerrymandering. That's why they still have some seats, because if they didn't gerrymandering a lot, they didn't get any seats probably. Other point is they talk about migration, but actually nothing much changed between Biden and Trump. There are still the same rules going on. So, and migration is maybe a point more for the people at the border than further land inwards. So then you have other points. But that's probably where my point is. I think is where they lost a lot of votes. Is first, a lot of young people came up because they were going after the debt reduction of the student loans. They went after young females that are married and don't want to have children. So a lot of young people came up. Young people are more liberal than conservative, so that are more voters for the Democrats. But I think also they had bad candidates in a lot of places, like extremists. People never vote for extremists. In my country, have also extremist right parties, but as long as they were promoting the extreme points, they didn't get any votes. They started getting votes when they ignored the extreme points and talking like normal people, but still in the back they had the extreme points, but the normal people saw them as normal people. You see, not extremists. And if you're going to deny election results, you are going to hate homosexuals, transgenders, and those things. You come over like you want to push religious ideas on other people. You are going to lose votes because not everybody is extremes. So they go for the other candidate. So they lost some Republicans, but normally vote Republican. They didn't say, I go for that extremist, I take the Democrat. The Democrat is better than the extremist. You understand? They lost some votes because a lot of young people came up. They lost a lot of votes because they have extreme points in their politic programs. But personally, I think there is one point the media doesn't talk about: COVID. In the last 2-3 years, a lot of people died of COVID. I looked at some figures up about COVID deaths, and Republicans died about around 70% more on average than Democrats from COVID. So maybe it's not much, but like take for example a state like Colorado. They had about 30,000 deaths of COVID. So Republicans die about 70% more than Democrats. That means by 50-50, there should be 15,000 Democrats, 15,000 Republicans. But because they died more, because they reject the vaccines, they didn't wear masks, they keep contact even when they were sick with other people. And a lot of Republicans are older generation, the more people who died more than the younger generation of COVID. So instead of 15,000 in Colorado, Arizona. So instead of 15,000 in Arizona, Democrats and 15,000 Republicans in Arizona, you get like 10,000 Democrats and 20,000 Republicans. That's a difference of 10,000 people died because it's the older generation that died most. Those 10,000 are likely more 60 plus people. The Republican voter base. Some of the elections were lost just by 1,000 votes in total. So if you have a 10,000 difference in that in your voter base, you have 10,000 people less coming up for the vote. Spread over the different counties that you have in the states, that means that some of the people don't get elected, and a Democrat that didn't have a chance get finally a chance because there were more young people. Some Republicans didn't vote for the Republicans because they were extremes, plus the COVID death. They put them over the edge. All those three factors put them over the edge to win the election. A lot of House and Senates in normally Republicans are governors in Republican states went to the Democrats because the local elections there. So that's one of the main factors I think is overlooked. The amount of people who died by COVID, disproportionate to Democrats to Republicans. In my country, it will make not so much difference because we don't have a two-party system. it will be spread over 5, 6 different parties, the results. So, but in your country, when you only have like 100, 200 votes or 2000 votes difference, a difference of 10,000 difference, that extra on one side of the political spectrum will have effect on your elections. Also, yeah, the point of unmarried women voting for it. The point is everybody under the 40 is more liberal. So most unmarried people are under 40 because they come from high school, they go to university, they first find a job, then they settle. So most people under 40 are unmarried. So it has nothing to do with unmarried or married. Anyway, I'm married twice, 2 times to a woman. They didn't change their mind when they are married. Even if I was a man, that's still then. A woman, you don't change her mind. They will vote for who they want to vote. So that's a little bit of my idea about why maybe the elections went the wrong way for the Republicans, and will even get worse year after year, because your base is dying out and you don't have any real political programs or topics. You only do culture wars, hate mongering, those things. You will lose in the end. So change your views on things. Go more to the center instead of to go to the extreme right. Kick out the people who, like the religious fanatics in your religion and politics don't mix well. Go to Iran, or every Islamic country. Religion never is a good thing in your politics. So have a nice day. That's my point views. That may be not right, but that's what I think about it. So have a nice day. Bye bye.